hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Great. So I have half an hour, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we start. Let's see how it works. I have a set of slides that I have sent you,
Yes, sir.
and I will be saying which ones to show when. Okay?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It may cause some confusion, but I'm sure that you don't need to be confused.
No, sir.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes, sir, I can see you.
Good. The topic has a huge scope. But let me start by saying that it's all about decision making. And decision making is what we are all concerned with in psychology, in management, in organizations. I introduced to you the second slide, which is for Herbert Simon. Now, who is Herbert Simon? He's thought to be the father of AI or artificial intelligence. You want me to talk about artificial intelligence a little bit? So let me see, we can get the slide and read it. I'm having trouble with showing the slide, but let me see what I can get.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we will be sharing the PPT soon, sir. Until then, you can address the audience. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Herbert Simon said that knowledge is of two kinds, intuitive and deliberative. Now, does artificial intelligence provide us with both intuitive and deliberative knowledge? Yes, it does. Now, what's the difference between intuitive and deliberative knowledge? Herbert Simon says that they have, the AI has a very good grasp of well-structured, deliberative, and quantitative information. They have had less of an impact on decision-making that's loosely structured, intuitive, and qualitative. And listen to this, they have had the least impact on face-to-face interactions between the manager and the people he's interacting with or she is interacting with. So
Sorry to interrupt. Our PPT is ready, so you can let me know when I have to change the slide. Thank you.
yes. Now, so I hope that we got the slides right now. Okay, the next one, the next slide, we say that I'm missing the slide here. I can't see it, but anyway, intuitions like deliberate decisions require a common base of thinking. The base is generally believed to rest on a few pillars, a few platforms. We do not yet know how the trillions of nerve cells act and communicate with each other in myriads of ways in artificial intelligence. Now, in the next slide, I show you how it can be used and how it can be useful. Let me see the next slide here. It talks about AI. Intuitive decision making has for its base the frozen wisdom gained from years of experience and reflection. Remember, it is in contrast to slow and deliberate decision making. Remember the book that Daniel Kahneman wrote, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. He too won the Nobel Prize, and he still writes about intuition. Now, how does intuition fare in advancing the neuroscience? In slide 7, you see the old and the new. Even until a few years back, we could only imagine stages of executing an action. We're not able to describe the neural base for these stages. Oh, I can see the slide now and then, but not all the time. Now.
Sir, are you facing any difficulty? Like, no, we are on now on the 7th slide. AI can be useful in decision making. That is the slide which we are in now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to number 8. We do not yet know how the trillions of nerve cells act and communicate with each other. In myriads of ways, artificial intelligence is the tool that neuroscientists depend on to unravel the mystery of intuition and deliberate thinking. At the level of cognition, we explain decision making. Number 10 slide shows that we have attempted to measure these core cognitive processes. Sorry, you have to excuse me for a minute because I can't seem to get the slides here. Unless I can see them, I can't talk to you very much. But anyway, let's continue.
Sir, can you please tell me what you are able to see in the screen? You are not able to see the PPT?
No, I'm
So
not able to see any of you.
Okay, sir.
Can you see me anyway?
I can see you, sir. And we have shared the PPT. Is it coming in a smaller screen? Is the PPT coming in a smaller screen?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, you have to switch that. I think you will be having a 4 square button in which you have to click, and you have to click on speaker's view.
Click on what?
Speaker's view. Or else if you have the PPT in your desktop, you can open that, sir, and you can tell me the slide number. I will change accordingly.
Yes, okay. Now, I can see my slides, so there's no problem there.
Okay, sir.
The next slide I want to show you is about an intelligence test that we have started. Now, the difference between the traditional test of intelligence and ours is great. The difference is this: we do not believe that IQ or intelligence is fixed. In fact, we cannot believe that because look at the connectome picture. When our connections, yes, I see your slides now and then. When our connections change every fraction of a moment, how can we say that intelligence is not influenced by learning? We cannot, of course, say that because learning and experience go together to shape our brain and our interactions with others. Now, let me focus on one kind of intelligence, that's complex problem solving. I have two slides here. One is of the deliberate logical type, and you can see the slide number 15 and 16. The other one is the most interesting one, which takes care of emotional decision making, the kind that Simon wanted us to pay attention to. And I will describe it in 2 minutes. You have a situation like this here. The insolent colleague, and it's slide number 20. You, Joanne, are competing for a big promotion within the company. Your main rival is a bit of a showman. You are presenting a new initiative, and you have given surveys and analysis. When you finish and you are enjoying supportive looks from some of your colleagues, your competitor blurts out, I bet most of those surveys never even get filled out, and so on. Everyone turns back to you and waits for your response. What can you do? Slide number 22 says what you can do. You are asked to write as many solutions as they can within 2 minutes. Next, you are asked to choose one of the solutions that they can justify best and give the reasons for justifying it. And the third part is the most important one. You give it to 2 or 3 raters who judge it on the basis of practicality, on the basis of compassion, and whether or not it is culturally acceptable. Now, compassion is an important thing these days in all kinds of management jobs. American businessman Jeff Weiner said, once he had started to fully appreciate the significance of compassion, he often wondered whether or not it was a quality that could be taught. We have programs that would teach people compassion. And in that sense, we are surely not like robots. If I have a couple of minutes, I'll give an example of how compassionate decision making may work. Now, this is the story of a young man who had been in jail for drugs. He's released and comes back to his parents. He finds that his father has a stack of books on how to help drug addicts and what to do, self-help books. He shows him all those books. Then what does the mother do? She just holds his hand and cries. Do we have a place for compassion in our business organizations, in interacting with each other, in psychotherapy? I think it's most important that we do. And in that sense, the human being is not a robot. Unless, of course, one day we can teach compassion to a robot. Thank you for listening to me. We are at the end of my talk, and you can see a sign that shows where I work at the University of Alberta. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir, for an informative session. As a token of love and appreciation, we would like to present with you a e-certificate. I request our technical team to display the same on the screen. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now
Thank you for listening.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir, for gracing our occasion.